Good morning and welcome to the morning dew. I just had a look at the mountain. It has a beautiful silhouette against the rising sun, against the dawn. Uh, my name is Kelvin Mungai.
And I am Wairimu Mugo. This is the Morning Dew Show, and we're going to take you through the newspapers. Later on, Kelvin is going to be joined by guests whom they shall discuss current affairs or what's happening around the political arena. And today is we are going to be talking about dental health. In the segment, let's talk with Erin.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Dental health.
Yes.
Okay, well,
make sure that you have the best smiles, you know.
Indeed.
Yes.
It will make for an interesting conversation. But right now, we start off with a review of the stories making your headlines in the dailies. I have the Daily Nation with me, where Momogo will be taking you through the Standard. And the Daily Nation main headline reads, "It is harvest season." I'm not sure as to whether this headline refers to the public servants who are quitting offices and joining either one of the three horses that are in the race towards State House, or if it is about this other headline down here, political parties to mint billions of shillings from candidates, or could it be meaning the two of them?
It's harvest season for either, particularly for political parties. And there are so many political parties coming up, like every day there is registration of a political party. I feel like politicians this time feel safer to own political parties, especially after what we saw in the 2017 party nominations. There was so much gamble and scaffold around it. So I feel like most politicians feel safer because they know if it's my party, then that's direct nomination. And again, other smaller politicians feel that since these political parties are not crowded, then I am guaranteed of a party nomination. Or a party ticket.
Well, the party primaries are coming up in a few days, and we will see how that will play out. Again, it is time, that is normally the time or during the campaign season when people feel betrayed and they leave the parties that they are affiliated to and join other parties. And this time round it will be especially interesting because we have the alliances now.
Well, that will be interesting, especially for the 13th Parliament, with these so many small parties bringing in members into Parliament. Then I think it will be kind of a tough 13th Parliament, because if some of these parties don't form alliances, then that means they will be sounding like independent sort of parties, and it could influence decisions, because you see most of the people who are on independent are kind of bus on 2017. Right now they are independent. They are still independent, but they have registered their parties. So it's going to be a very interesting 13th Parliament.
Well, I almost feel like I should invite you to a hotspot discussion one of these days.
I'll try. Well, on the Standard newspaper, we have the headline is Uhuru toughest 180 days. And from efforts to manage succession, cement his legacy, run affairs with a shrunk cabinet, and implement final projects, President is juggling so many balls in the air in his last 6 months in office. And that story continues on the page 10 of the Standard newspaper. It basically talks about the CS who have resigned, and Uhuru has the push to fill this position. Actually, on a highlight, that is the president's agenda in the next 6 months. That is appointments, smooth running of government by filling posts left vacant by exiting officials. Legacy is to cement legacy that oscillates between digital economy and Big Four agenda. He has projects that is rushed to complete pending key projects under tight timelines, and elections ensure polls are free and fair for a peaceful and united country. Finally, succession, and this is what is gluing so many Kenyans to kind of follow Uhuru Kenyatta. That is, dedicate balance and push to ensure his preferred Azimio wing becomes a formidable force. That is too much work, I feel, for a president, and especially the succession kind of thing. That one is something every Kenyan wants to see, how Uhuru will influence the results of 2022 elections.
It is something that we will keep an eye out for. Still on politics, political parties to mint billions of shillings from candidates. There is a table highlighted by the Daily Nation at the bottom left side of the headlines page. There are several parties there. There is the UDA, there is the ODM, there is ANC, there is WIPA, there is Jubilee. Then there are positions. There is the governor position, the senator position, the women rep position, the MP and the MCA positions. And then there is the average cost for a ticket on either one of these parties. In UDA, ODM, WIPA and Jubilee, the average cost of a governor ticket is 500,000 shillings. In ANC, the average cost is 400,000. The senator one goes for 250,000 for UDA, ODM, WIPA and Jubilee, and for ANC it goes for 200,000. And there is a more breakdown on the women rep, the MPs, the MCA, and there are more details on this on page 7 of the Daily Nation. The business of politics is also entering harvest season as parties train their sights on nomination fees that cumulatively run into billions of shillings. Of the various formations, Ruto's UDA and Odinga's Azimio are poised to reap the most.
Yeah, sure. They have the largest number of candidates. And especially Azimio and UDA, they feel like they are the big political buses that could make anyone win any political seat. However, I feel even with the election bill that was recently passed, and it's talking about parties being given equal share regardless whether they are big or small, then I think that is something very alluring to people who want to open political parties, because they know at the end, after the elections, then there will still be money being channeled to my party. So I think if you want business, that is why you should be looking into.
Well, this is eye-opening, because, you know, people always say that politics is a dirty game, but nobody talks about how expensive it actually is.
Politics is expensive, and losing, especially for a political seat, is more expensive, especially now when you go to contest in court. It is far much expensive. Again, with Kenyan spirit and Kenyanism, let me call it Kenyanism, where we feel that a politician is entitled to give us handouts so that we can vote for them. It becomes even more complicated for these politicians. And still on politics, on page 4 of the Standard newspaper, it talks about why Kalonzo and Mudavadi numbers matter. Following the release of IEBC voter numbers, WIPA and ANC leaders emerge as the possible kingmakers who could determine Kenya's 5th president in the August 9 general elections. So at the end of the day, these two gentlemen could have been taken lighter. However, it seems like right now they are the people who have the deciding card of who becomes the 5th president. And on that page 4 of the Standard newspaper, it goes down to break down what happened. That is the game of numbers in State House race. And if you check on 2013 elections, Western Kenya gave Uhuru Kenyatta 651 votes. That's around 9.9%. Mudavadi got 26.8%. And Odinga, that is Western, got the highest, that is 59.9%. So that means if Uhuru and if Mudavadi maintains if Mudavadi maintains, then Uhuru Kenyatta adds his 9.92 to Raila, giving him quite a number.
Yes.
If you check the 2013 and 2017 elections, Raila in Lower Eastern garnered 84%. And Kalonzo Musyoka in 2013 got around 85.3%. percent. So basically this story tries to elaborate how voters vote depending to regions, and it's sounding like Kalonzo Musyoka can influence block voting in his region. Likewise, Mudavadi can also do that. However, after Mudavadi joined Ruto, there has been massive movement from his party to DAPK, which is seemingly the party that Western region seems to like more. However, politics can change overnight, so let's wait and see.
Right. Joho eyes richer pickings on the national stage. Mombasa governor is leaving local politics. That is a story on page 5 of the Daily Nation, which goes on to explain how Ali Hassan Joho will be eyeing for a better position or a higher position in the government should Honorable Raila Odinga get to take the highest office in the land. I have a duty to speak for Coast people. Ali Hassan Joho says we must be ably represented in government when decisions are being made. A regional kingpin, Mr. Joho is credited for the massive support that the ODM leader enjoys in many parts of the Coast region since his debut in politics through a by-election in Kisauni in December 2004. It is interesting, his journey through politics, because he came from a little-known guy to being a big enough force to influence the votes of an entire region. And they basically swing in whatever direction he says, although he has been supporting Raila Odinga. But with the analysis of the way the Kenyan elections are set up, if his loyalty is not rewarded with the position that he feels that he deserves, we could see a defection.
And which is that position? I hope it's not the DP.
Well, it's not disclosed in the article, but let's see which position he will be asking for.
Yeah, sure. At one time, Joho said he's eyeing the presidency.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happened to that. So I know he could be wanting to be Raila's running mate. But whether he would help him garner enough votes for presidency, I feel it's quite a tight time for any presidential. The three presidential candidates, that is Oka Principal, Kalonzo Musyoka, UDP or Kenya Kwanza, Azimio, Raila and Ruto. I feel the tightest one for them is finding the suitable running mate. And I feel like they are playing hide and seek with each other. Like they are waiting, you say who is it for you, then we're gonna release, and they want to, whoever says first, I think the rest will just weigh and who's the best suitable. And it's gonna be an interesting time. Kenyans are really waiting for that time. Well,
yes, and the fight for the running mate is basically dependent on our regional blocks, because right now the leaders are seeing a lot of support from all the locations in the country, where they have strongholds. But if, say, the deputy president doesn't pick a running mate from Mount Kenya, then Mount Kenya may feel like it has been betrayed, or like it is not part of the government. Like the deputy president doesn't want Mount Kenya to be part of his government, and so he may lose support from that region, and that will influence the overall outcome. So again, I don't necessarily feel like they are trying to play hide and seek with each other, but rather they are weighing their options, seeing that if I lose this region, then maybe I can gain favor in this other region, and that would neutralize the impact or something.
Sure. And still on politics, DAPK is a Raila project to divide Western, says Ruto. I don't know what it is with projects. And this time round, some parties are being felt like they are projects of the other, and now it is DAPK being a project of Raila. Well, I wouldn't want to call it a project. I'd call it strategy. It's one of maybe the strategies Raila is using to get the Western vote or Western voting for him as a bloc. However, speaking in the Kenyatta Stadium in Trans Nzoia yesterday, Ruto said Deputy President and allies accuse Wamalwa of being used. And they urged the region to support Mudavadi and Wetangula. And still on page 6 of the Standard newspaper, Wetangula gave them feedback. And he told them, realize Uhuru win was a joint effort. So what Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa is telling Ruto is that you have not like really helped Uhuru to attain his goal or to achieve the complete project. So stop lying to Kenyans. Uhuru did it with help of many other people. It was collective responsibility. So be on your own, man. Yeah.
Well, on page 6 of the Daily Nation is a story about the resignations of public servants. And there is an interesting table, very interesting table, because it highlights the positions that these public servants held, their names, and whichever one of the 3 alliances they went to. Azimio has so far been the one to benefit the most because it has 10 public servants. It has gained 10 new politicians as public servants. UDA has gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And the One Kenya Alliance has only gained 1.
Wow.
So Azimio now has Adan Mohamed, it has John Munyes, it has Sicily Kariuki, it has Zach Kenothia, it has Chris Obure, it has Ken Obura, it has Hussein Dado, Hassan Nur Hassan, Joseph Irungu, and Hamadi Boga. While UDA has Fred Segor, Simon Chapin, John Mosonik, Joseph Boynet, Patrick Ntutu, Charles Keter, and Oka has Wavinya Ndeti.
Well, I feel it's too early to kind of say that all resigning officials will fall into this party or will fall this way. Well, they could, those especially being seen to support Uhuru, could be seen like they are headed to Azimio because they just left government. However, after several days of staying out here and out of government and listening to ground, as they call it, some of them will defect to other parties. That one I can bet on.
Yes.
And it will come as a surprise. And we are expecting actually some of them to denounce Azimio as others denounce UDA to join One Kenya Alliance. That is bound to happen. That one I can bet on.
Yes.
Na watasema walisikiza ground. On to another story. There's a follow-up from the Kianjokoma brothers. And there is a witness here who recalls on how the brothers fell as they escaped police. And the witness says, I saw police beat up Kianjokoma brothers. And one person here is quoted saying, it is regrettable that the accused police officers could have used reasonable means to avoid the deaths, even if the brothers had violated curfew orders. Well, this is a sad story and it's been a hard time for the family. And we really hope that our courts can take the case a bit faster to ensure justice is served for these 2 brothers. It's very sad to lose 2 sons in one day, and especially to such a case. I don't want to say it's the police who did it because it's still investigations are still ongoing. However, it's something we really wish that can be brought to closure.
Yes, indeed, indeed. We wish that the swift wings of justice would apprehend those who are responsible for taking the lives of 2 young Kenyans. On page 16 is an interesting cartoon. Normally you're the ones to do the cartoons, but I just could not miss out on today's cartoon.
Yes.
Uhuru is losing a literal cabinet to a magnet of politics. And the cabinets are falling apart in pieces. I mean, there are wooden planks flying all over with the screws being drawn towards the magnet.
Wow.
That's
That's like literally what's happening.
exactly.
And how he rebuilds that again is something we're really looking forward to see. The balance, now that they have fallen out with UDA, and we know that with URP, not UDA, now that they have fallen out with URP, and we had seen like the cabinet was a balance of URP and Jubilee supporters, then we want to see whether those positions will be given to Azimio, like a related kind of people, or how exactly will he have the balance. Another one on page 16 of the Standard newspaper. Fasten your seatbelt, folks. It is that mud slinging season again. Oh, we have ODM, we have UDA with a basket of mud, and I don't know where they are throwing the mud to.
And they're throwing it at each other. I mean, the two figures are not exactly clean, and their clothes are also messed up.
And they are looking at each other very angrily. So I think it's when this lady says that it's that mud slinging season again, then it means that our politics are politics where each candidate makes the other muddy.
Basically slinging dirt at each other, which is what has been happening at the political rallies that have been happening across the country, and especially now between the president and his deputy, with the very, very bitter exchange of words between the two of them.
Sure.
It is indeed the mudslinging season.
Sure, it's happening to even at the lower level of the MCAs contesting. So you find one MCA at a center and you find the other at another center, and all they are doing is telling the voters how bad the other one is, not in terms of service delivery, but personal kind of intrigue. I really would wish our political arena could change from that.
Yeah, indeed. It does have its demerits, but then again, it makes for very interesting conversations. Well, that story has brought us to a time when we have to take a short break, but do stay tuned, because after this short break, I will be coming back with my panel, and we will be discussing a bit of what is happening in the political landscape. Remember, we are live on YouTube and on Facebook. You can leave us your comments on either one of the platforms, and Wairimu Mogo and I will be sure to sample some of your feedback at the end of the show. You can also send us an SMS on 23595 or a WhatsApp message on the number running on your screen down there.
Yeah, so that's it. See you in a while. I'll be coming back to talk about dental care with Dr. Muhoro. So